Today is Sunday, and the celebration of the Spring Festival is about to begin. Honestly, Yin really wants to go. She wants to go with Jungkook. Even though they've been married for 6 months, they've never gone out or had a date. Yes, they are a married couple arranged by their parents. More precisely, it was Yin who desired this arranged marriage. She truly loves Jungkook, the son of her parents' friend. She persuaded her parents to arrange her marriage with him, and surprisingly, both sets of parents agreed, including Jungkook's, and so, their marriage took place. Unfortunately, Jungkook doesn't love her. He married out of obligation, planning to divorce his wife a year later. That's what Jungkook revealed directly to his wife 6 months ago on their first night together. Jungkook doesn't love her, and currently, they sleep in separate rooms, with Jungkook occupying the master bedroom because it's his house. That's the story of the marriage between the cold Jungkook and the gentle Yin. After contemplating for a few minutes, Yin finally mustered the courage to invite him. Shortly after, Jungkook is seen opening the bedroom door, standing there, looking at Yin with his usual cold expression. Jungkook, today the Spring Festival begins. Will you accompany me? I'm busy. Jungkook almost closes the bedroom door again before Yin manages to hold it open. I beg you, at least before we divorce later, can we go out together just once? After this, I won't bother you again. Jungkook remains silent, staring at her face. Somehow, hearing what Yin just said softened his heart a little. Fine, get ready then. Yin nods eagerly, and they both head to the Spring Festival. Jungkook and Yin walked together, amidst the crowd, enjoying various events. They deliberately stayed a bit away from the main road, avoiding the parade that was taking place in the middle of the street. Yin intentionally didn't take Jungkook there, knowing he probably wouldn't enjoy the hustle and bustle, as it was quite crowded and hectic. Many traditional food stalls and traditional entertainment stands lined the street as they walked. Eventually, Yin's eyes caught sight of a stall with a sign that read "Peek into Fate." Yin knew it must be a fortune-telling booth. Jungkook, let's go there. Huh? Do you want to visit a fortune teller? Do you believe in things like that? Let's just see. I'm just curious. Yin immediately pulled his hand, while Jungkook just shook his head, acknowledging that this was indeed a bit silly. Now, both of them are seated facing an extremely old grandmother. Her eyes seem damaged, completely unable to see. What do you want to ask, dear? I don't know, but I want you to talk about everything you know about my future. Jungkook once again shook his head, remaining silent beside Yin. The old lady began to laugh softly. Why did you come to me when you don't believe in fortune-telling? Yin and Jungkook looked surprised when the grandmother said that. How could she know their thoughts? Instantly, Yin felt uneasy, while Jungkook remained cold and indifferent. But okay, it seems you're getting curious. Come here. Show me your right palm. Yin finally reached out her hand, letting the old lady touch her palm with her wrinkled fingers. I'll only tell you 3 significant things that will greatly affect your life. Yin started to get curious, unsure why she was feeling nervous hearing what the blind grandmother in front of her would say. This time, Jungkook also seemed intrigued. First, in the near future, both of your parents will die in a plane crash. Yin was shocked and immediately pulled her hand away roughly. Watch your words, Granny. How dare you say something like that? Didn't you want me to predict for you? Then listen to all the important things I say so that you can make the right decisions. Yin began to hesitate, looking at the grandmother's face. Why was she so confident? Finally, she glanced at Jungkook, who seemed increasingly curious. Come here. Will you let me continue? Slowly, Yin extended her hand again. Your parents will have a plane crash soon, and when that happens, your health will decline. You'll easily get sick if you linger in sorrow. Second, you'll also divorce your husband who doesn't love you. After that, you'll try to build relationships with other men several times. But none of the men who approach you will be sincere, and your relationships with them will repeatedly end until you don't marry, until you're old, and until you die. This time, both Yin and Jungkook were shocked by what the fortune teller grandmother said. Third, even so, in the end, you'll find your own happiness when you're old. At that time, you'll be greatly loved by the children because you'll build a large orphanage. All the children in that orphanage will cherish you, and you'll raise them as your own. Your old days will be filled with happiness from all of them. That's what will happen in your life, but everything can change if you make the right decisions. Yin withdrew her hand from the grandmother a bit roughly. Somehow, hearing what the grandmother said made Yin both angry and anxious. Finally, she took out some bills and handed them to the grandmother. However, the grandmother quickly held her hand. Take your money. I don't need it. I'm not here for business. I just want to help people who feel failed and desperate. Alright, thank you then. Yin and Jungkook finally left the booth. Yin's expression began to change since leaving the clairvoyance booth earlier. She seemed influenced by what the old woman had said. Jungkook noticed. Do you believe what the old woman said? Of course not. Good. It would be ridiculous if you believed her. A few days later, Yin and her mother were on a phone call. Your father and I will be on a business trip to Beijing tomorrow. How long, Mom? Just a week. Not too long. All right then. Take care on your journey, Mom. The next day, Yin was shocked by the news on television about a plane crash that occurred, the Seoul to Beijing flight. Yin, who was watching the news, was truly shocked. Her world seemed to come to a standstill. This can't be. It must be just a dream. Yin stands, accompanied by her husband and Jungkook's parents, receiving condolences from the guests. Yin's face is truly devastated, as is Jungkook's. They both instantly recall the fortune-telling grandmother they encountered a few days ago. Yin and Jungkook are both busy regretting what happened. Whether this is just a coincidence or not, they should have been more cautious. If only I had forbidden my parents from going, maybe all this wouldn't have happened. Even if we don't believe in that clairvoyant, it would still be better to be cautious and vigilant. Now they are on their way back home. The journey feels eerily quiet. Jungkook can't stop glancing at her, who looks devastated. There's a sense of pity in his heart as he observes her. Surely, Yin must be regretting everything, especially after hearing the clairvoyant from that moment. Yin, are you okay? Jungkook, this isn't my fault, right? I should have prevented them from going. Suddenly, Yin bursts into tears, and Jungkook, seeing this, starts to worry. I want to believe it's just a coincidence, but even so, I should have been more proactive. I shouldn't have let my parents go. Jungkook tries to comfort Yin by holding one of her hands, but Yin continues to cry. Finally, Jungkook pulls over the car for a moment. He immediately embraces her, trying to calm her down while gently stroking her head. This isn't your fault, Yin. It's just a coincidence. Stop blaming yourself. Honestly, it's not just Yin who feels devastated right now, but also Jungkook. However, he tries to conceal his guilt. Regardless of how the clairvoyant spoke in front of him, Jungkook cannot pretend not to have heard about that prophecy. Tonight, Jungkook can't sleep. He sits silently at the edge of the bed, gazing at Yin, who is now peacefully asleep beside him. Yes, tonight Jungkook invited Yin to sleep with him in the main bedroom. There's a sense of uneasiness in his heart about leaving Yin alone to sleep in the guest room under the current circumstances. The words of the clairvoyant now haunt his thoughts, not only about the death of Yin's parents but also about their relationship. Second, you'll also divorce your husband who doesn't love you. After that, you'll try to build relationships with other men several times. But none of the men who approach you will be sincere, and your relationships with them will repeatedly end until you don't marry, until you're old, and until you die. The next day, Jungkook secretly visits the clairvoyant again. This time, he comes alone without Yin, claiming he's heading to the headquarters to assign a mission to his subordinates, but he's actually here. Oh, why have you come back here? Are you starting to care about your wife? The question from the grandma, in fact, makes Jungkook a bit irritated but also stings, as what she said is true. What you said back then is true. Now, my wife's parents have passed away due to a plane crash. I deeply regret hearing this from you, considering I warned about it. Fate can change based on the decisions made. If only she had forbidden her parents for a while not to board the plane, such a tragic fate wouldn't have happened. Jungkook remains silent. Truthfully, it's not only Yin who feels regret, but he does too. That's why he doesn't want to regret for the second time. You surely know about my relationship with my wife, but now, I don't want her to endure a lifetime of misfortune. I don't want her to live as you described to her back then. Earlier, I had planned to divorce her, but now, I don't want to. Will her life be better with me? Give me your palm. Jungkook finally extends his hand, and the grandma starts touching his palm. Your life won't be better if you divorce her. You'll marry a woman only after your wealth, and she'll bear a child not of your blood. She'll cheat on you, and you'll be stuck raising that child for years while she continues her affair. There's no happiness in your marriage until you eventually divorce her. Meanwhile, if you stay with your wife, you can start to love her. You know she loves you deeply, right? You'll never get as much love from any woman as your wife loves you now. If you open your heart to her, both of you will be happy. So, make your choice. The grandma now releases his hand, and Jungkook appears silent and contemplative. Now, he is more determined not to divorce his wife. Now Jungkook is back home, finding Yin already in her room, lying on the bed. Jungkook walks towards her and sits on the edge of the bed. He notices food on the nightstand untouched. The maid had just informed him that his wife refused to have lunch. Why haven't you eaten, Yin? I'm not hungry. It's not about whether you're hungry or not, but your body needs food. I'm truly useless, Jungkook. I should have prevented them from leaving, but I was so foolish to let them go. Jungkook now leans down, embracing her. I don't have anyone anymore. You still have me, Yin. You'll leave me too. No, I promise not to leave you. You said you would divorce me, and according to the fortune teller, I'll grow old without a family. I'll live building an orphanage and stay there. No, you'll stay with me forever. We'll live happily, and we'll have children. If you want to build an orphanage, I'll support you, but you'll still live with me. Yin now starts to stop crying, wanting to make sure of what she just heard from Jungkook. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure of what I said to you. We won't get divorced. We'll live happily together forever. Yin can now smile a little. Jungkook wipes away the tears on his wife's cheeks. I won't leave you alone, Yin. We'll truly become husband and wife starting now. We'll build our own family. And starting from last night and onwards, you will sleep in my master bedroom with me, okay? Yin nods. She can now smile, although deep sadness is still evident on her face because she is still mourning the recent loss of both her parents.